Thank you for listening to SPN, the Savage Podcasting Network.
You're listening to The Stephen Savage Show on the Savage Podcasting Network. And now here's your host, film and television director, Stephen Savage.
You're tuned to California's only true music station, 95.3 KZMC Cosmic Radio.
And that was the voice of the amazing actress Irene Bedard, whom you'll know from great productions like Longmire and HBO's Westworld, and of course is the beloved voice of Disney's Pocahontas, broadcasting the call letters to the fictitious radio station, which is the central location for my romantic comedy film, Cosmic Radio, now available on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Tubi, Fandango's Vudu, the Roku channel, and many, many more. How you doing, everybody? Savage here with you for a very special edition of the Stephen Savage Show, something that will become a regular addition to the podcast and to the Savage Podcasting Network in the months to come, which we are calling the Cosmic Radio Experience. On these episodes, I'll be introducing my audience to independent music artists from around the globe that I feel are long overdue for worldwide attention and recognition. And hopefully my independent filmmaker friends who are looking for great songs to add to their film soundtracks without paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for limited rights to a popular song will find a slew of music that will benefit their film projects. And speaking of film, as regular listeners know, this is the official podcast of the Idlewild International Festival of Cinema and the Scotland International Festival of Cinema, both of which I am one of the founders and organizers. And as usual, we're coming to you from Lunatopia Studios at Chateau Esteban in the beautiful village of Idlewild, California. Just a 2-hour drive from downtown Hollywood, but a world away at just under 6,000 feet, high atop Mount San Jacinto and overlooking the great Coachella Valley. So again, this is the inaugural special edition of the Cosmic Radio Experience, and in the future we'll be on the lookout for lesser-known but amazingly gifted music artists to feature on the podcast with their music and a few interviews here and there. But to launch this new concept, I'll be focusing on 2 of my own films, Cosmic Radio, starring the aforementioned Irene Bedard, who will be coming onto the podcast very shortly, and I'm really looking forward to that. And the film stars Michael Madsen, Oscar winner Wes Studi, Taboo of Black Eyed Peas, a great musical artist in his own right, as well as a fun actor to work with. Ryder Strong, Ricardo Chavira, and National Film Critics Award winner Seymour Cassell, who I'm honored to, and saddened actually, to say that Cosmic Radio was Seymour's last film before he passed away after a long and great career. And last but not least, the man I'm going to be bringing in on the phone here in a couple minutes, the lead actor of Cosmic Radio, my friend Johnathon Sachar. We'll also be featuring the music of an amazing singer-songwriter whose songs are the highlight of another of my films, a drama entitled Vertical, which just ended a year-long run on the Roku channel and Tubi. That artist's name is Courtney Jones, and she'll be on the phone with me in just a bit talking about her music and the journey of her musical style and how it played so much a part of the film Vertical. And a real treat for me is someone who will also be calling in today, a woman whose music I've admired for many years, and who not only created music for Cosmic Radio, but her amazing guitar work is also featured in Vertical, in which she wore another hat as one of the film's composers and also musical directors. But before we get into all of that fun stuff, we're going to start by playing the opening theme song from the film Cosmic Radio, a song I personally picked after the Dolly Parton song that we had utilized for our film festival screenings was nixed when the producers decided that song was just way too pricey for the actual theatrical release. Well, it happens. But we're lucky enough to have found this awesome song as a replacement, written and performed by a great singer-songwriter named Rachel Robinson. The track is called Major Brown and His Technicolor Glasses, and I'll have more info on this fantastic artist after we play it. So let's kick it off. Enjoy.
Major Brown had a minor problem. He had all of these friends and he didn't want them. He had invitations, admirations, and lucky bastard, he had me. But his Technicolor glasses were broken and he could not see. Big and round with chrome shiny frames, Major Brown looked down, his heart was in flames, and the lenses made the ocean look like symphonies on Christmas Day. Yeah, those Technicolor glasses made the whole world look that way. Sing glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Yeah. Major Brown and his curious spectacles, the talk of the town. We had a more than ever dull. The optical illusionary magic was as real as love, which kinda makes you wonder what those glasses were made of. One day those glasses just up and quit working. I could feel it when I saw the shadows lurking. The colors too familiar, unappreciated, turned to gray. Now everything that Major Brown gazed upon looked that way. Sing glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Yeah. Now, Major Brown's got this minor problem, so he buys lots of toys and he's really proud of them. As for me, I still can see the dazzling colors if I really try. 'Cause I found a pair of Technicolor glasses right inside my eye. Yeah, I found a pair of Technicolor glasses right inside my eye. Sing glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
That was Rachel Robinson on the Cosmic Radio Experience with the opening credits song from my film Cosmic Radio. An interesting bit of trivia regarding Rachel. Her dad is actor Andrew Robinson, one of the great character actors in film and television, playing so many memorable roles, including the role of Scorpio, the serial killer opposite Clint Eastwood in the original Dirty Harry. And he's still very active today, starring in films and TV. And as for Rachel, you can find her music, including that song, the one you just heard, and another track that graces the Cosmic Radio soundtrack, which we'll be playing a bit later, songwriter. You can find her on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, and iTunes, and everywhere you find your favorite music. Okay, I'm going to bring on our first guest for today's podcast, but before I do, here's another clip of Irene Bedard from the film Cosmic Radio as disc jockey Casey Nighthorse, introducing the character that my guest played in that film. Listen.
Friday afternoon on KCMC Cosmic Radio. Casey Nighthorse with you for one more hour. Tiffany Campbell's up next. Then we'll be turning it over to the one and only Tyler Stone, station manager and all-around peachy guy. He's back from vacation, and ladies, I have to tell you, he is looking so fine. You look like shit. Didn't you get any sleep while you were gone?
That was the voice of Irene Bedard as disc jockey Casey Nighthorse in my film Cosmic Radio. And here's the man who played the erstwhile and often unruly character of Tyler Stone, whom she just introduced in that clip from the movie, calling in from somewhere in the East Coast. An all-around peachy guy, actor and producer, Mr. Johnathon Sachar. John, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I really appreciate you coming on today. We had a great time making that movie, didn't we?
It was a great experience. It's a beautiful town, and everything about it was definitely memorable. One of the best experiences I've ever had.
Yeah, we shot in Idlewild, where the Idlewild Film Festival takes place. It's a great place to shoot movies. For a long time, it was just my little private playground. I could make feature films here, and nobody knew about it. And then all of a sudden, it kind of the cat was out of the bag. So I want to talk about the soundtrack specifically today. As I mentioned earlier, before you came on, John, we had this amazing roster of songs that. When you and producer Ryan Johnson were putting together the festival licensing just before we premiered at the Palm Springs International Film Festival. And then we were lucky enough to be walked in to the Sundance Institute and during the Sundance Film Festival as a special invited film through two of our stars who were working with the Sundance Institute's Native Film Studies program, Irene Bedard and Wes Studi. And we had songs in our film festival licensing version of the film from, as I mentioned, Dolly Parton, Peter Gabriel, Elton John, Cat Stevens, and the list goes on. And then when it came time to start shopping the film, unless you have a Martin Scorsese type budget, there's no way you can afford a soundtrack like that. And in your defense, John, you and Ryan both told me not to fall in love with that soundtrack, the original one, remember?
Yeah.
It was like you guys are saying, yeah, it's really cool, all these songs in your film, but don't get used to it. It was a big lesson for me.
Yeah, but you still put together a great soundtrack. I mean, I'm just impressed with what you came up with.
Yeah,
well, I guess you have a lot of connections with a lot of independent artists and musicians. I guess because you're a musician yourself.
Yeah,
right?
But it was funny because I really wasn't even thinking about that. I was really under the delusion that we'd be able to afford all this stuff. And of course, just ridiculous. I don't know where my head was at. But Ryan called me and he said, look, you pick a list of great indie artists that you feel will represent the film best, and we'll look at it, and I'll make sure you get all of them. So I went to work, and in the process, I not only brought in some friends of mine, but I discovered some fantastic singer-songwriters that I had never heard of, and I'm so glad I did. This soundtrack, if all goes right, I'd like to do this soundtrack album and push it for the movie and, do the whole Spotify thing and try to sell it. So I'll talk to you guys about that at another time. But, I think you're right. We picked you and Ryan when you saw the new version with all these songs. You guys were like, yeah, that's great. I think you just gave me the okay that they were all good to go. So I think this is going to blow people's minds.
Yeah, very impressive. I think it's a great album. I think if you put a soundtrack album together, it's just nice from start to finish. Mm-hmm. It would be a good listen for sure.
Yeah. So you're always working on one cool film or another. What do you got going on right at the moment that you can actually talk about?
Well, we're putting together Western. The Western genre is pretty popular right now. Mm-hmm. I've always wanted to get involved with a Western, and I know you've done a number of Westerns. So. But yeah, we're going to do a kind of the prequel to Tombstone. It's called Dodge,
Mm-hmm.
and where Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday meet. And a guy named Richard Harker wrote it, and he actually was polished the script with Kurt Russell when Kurt Russell took over Tombstone. So he's in his 80s, and it's a phenomenal script. So that's something we're hoping to put together and start shooting in a few months.
Yeah, that's awesome. Any help you need from me? As you said, I've done plenty of them, but yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that for sure.
I will definitely lean on you for some advice, and just wranglers and people with their own horses and just all that stuff.
Have you guys locked down a location yet?
It looks like New Mexico. We locations outside of Albuquerque, so right between Albuquerque and Santa Fe. There's a lot of older either sets or real abandoned ghost towns. So it's set late 1800s. So they have a nice tax incentive too.
And did you say, do you guys have a working title yet?
It actually is called Dodge.
Oh, yeah. Dodge. Okay, cool. Well, that's, awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more. So I know you're... Go ahead.
Wyatt Earp, and when Wyatt Earp met Doc Holliday, they were in Dodge City.
Right.
And so they cleaned up Dodge before they moved on to Tombstone.
Right. Yeah. It's a great history. It's such an amazing. Yeah. This will be a great movie. Awesome. So I know you're super busy, but and before I let you go, though, I want to play a song that appears in a very prominent moment in the film, a montage scene in which your best girl, KC, has just left town, vowing never to see you again. Your estranged 13-year-old daughter has had a terrible accident and almost dies. And you're being forced out of the radio station that you helped create, KZMC Cosmic Radio. I mean, talking about
a good...
talking about a character hitting bottom. I don't want to spoil the plot for those who haven't seen the movie yet, but suffice it to say, this song plays a pivotal moment in the closing act, and it's perfect. And John, you did such a great job portraying that vulnerability in this character, especially in the third act. So I just want to thank you for that.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah. So here's the song performed by an awesome songwriter named Danny Hamilton. It's called I'm Going Home. And thanks for coming on, Jonathan, and I'll be talking to you pretty soon.
My pleasure. Thanks, Steve.
All right, thanks.
Another day where my life is spinning out of control. How hard the waves will churn the ocean, I never know. Oh, but I learned with time, to see the signs. I may not know where my life is going, but I'm going home. Every day the lies keep growing out of control. So hard to tell who's sincere and who's blowing smoke. We may never know, but we all learn in time. Oh no, to see through the lies. I may not know where this world is going, but I'm going home. Don't believe that all is said and done, for the race is run. Compromise your faith You'll find today that I am showing no self-control. In your heart, the winds of change are blowing. Now I know. Oh, but you learn with time. Oh, to follow the light. I may not know which way you are going, but I'm going home.
That's Danny Hamilton doing a song from my film Cosmic Radio. Danny's someone whose voice and songwriting makes you wonder why he isn't a huge star by now. He's such a strong performer as well. All his recordings are world-class in their genre. I'm only too happy to push his career in any way I can. You can find him on YouTube, iTunes, and Apple Music, and of course Spotify. Here's another song of Danny's, a song which was not in the Cosmic Radio soundtrack, but is featured in my film Vertical. This one, I believe, also was featured in an episode of Dawson's Creek before I was lucky enough to add it to the Vertical soundtrack. And you'll notice there's a crackling on the track, like an old vinyl album playing, which I think is just a great effect for this tune. And more about that and the woman who's singing with him on that track in just a moment. Here's The Jesters Obeyed, Danny Hamilton on the Cosmic Radio Experience.
I could shoot an apple off your head with ease while I dance with a monkey's expertise. There is nothing I wouldn't do for you, 'cause you're sick and you're twisted, funny girl.
I need someone I can bounce on, someone with resiliency. There is only one for me. Is it you, funny boy?
But the life of a jester can be lonely. It's true that critics and press can be cruel, and this life that we lead can seem phony. I have got nothing to offer you.
Now the sun is rising, time to say goodnight to you, funny boy.
But the life of a jester can be lonely. It's true that critics and press can be cruel. In this life that we lead can seem phony. I have got nothing to offer you. I could shoot an apple off your head with ease while I dance with a monkey's expertise. There is nothing I wouldn't do for you, 'cause you're sick and you're twisted, funny girl. You're sick and you're twisted, funny girl.
The Jesters Obeyed, Danny Hamilton, amazing song. And the woman who's singing with him on that track is another artist I was lucky enough to be turned on to. I think by my friend Daryl Hannah. I can't remember exactly, but her name is Serena Matthews, and her music appears on both the Cosmic Radio and the Vertical soundtracks. And that song plays during a montage scene in Vertical. And those who know my work know that I love adding montage scenes to my films. They're such a great plot accelerator. Many film teachers will tell you that montages, like voiceover narratives, are a lazy trick that lesser filmmakers use when their story is weak, but that is a bunch of BS. From Casablanca through the Rocky movies, and even today, montage scenes are always a great tool when telling a visual story. But I digress. So here's the song that drove one of my favorite montages scenes, which just happens to be one I directed. Serena Matthews and Sad Little Song, Broken Bird, on the Cosmic Radio Experience.
It's a gamble sometimes. Just getting out of bed. I can't watch the morning news anymore, 'cause it always makes me cry, 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 like an angry baby. Like an angry baby. Yeah. Maybe we should just jump this train. Before they throw us overboard. I've got my pride in my pocket. We'll hold our heads high, we will walk tall. Let's go. Or maybe we should crawl into a corner. Far away from all these things. We won't surface for a while. Until things begin to change for the better. Till they change for the better. clipped, I can't fly. My wings have been clipped, I cannot fly. I feel like a bird in a broken cage with broken wings. And it's a crying shame. I could have flown so high. I could have flown so high. Yeah. I could have kissed the sky. I could have kissed the sky, like a bird in a broken cage. Here I am, I can fly like a bird in a broken cage. Maybe I'll stay here till things change for the better. I'll be here in my broken cage. Maybe we should jump this train.
Serena Matthews, sad little song, subtitled Broken Bird. I love Serena's voice, but also her simple approach to recording things, raw and without barriers between her voice and her guitar, and simply brilliant and beautiful, as are all her songs. Beautiful and unfettered, and you can find Serena on iTunes and YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, etc., and you owe yourself a bit of time getting to know this awesome singer-songwriter. She's just one of a kind, so... Okay, up next, a song that was brought to me by the artist herself, actress and songwriter Lindsay Price. You'll remember Lindsay from her roles in 90210, the NBC series Lipstick Jungle, and she was one of the stars of the ABC series Eastwick. Lindsay played a cameo role in Cosmic Radio as a bar singer in a scene which featured Taboo of the Black Eyed Peas, who played the supporting role of Marcus in the film. Lindsay was perfect as the singer due to the fact that she's also an amazing recording artist as well as an actress. And even though the song she's singing in the bar scene is not easily heard over the bar noise and the dialogue of the actors, the song I'm going to play now is featured as a main theme in another scene that takes place in the KZMC Cosmic Radio station, which features Irene Bedard and Wes Studi. So here's Lindsay Price with a song called Glasses of Rain.
Quietly might hear all the answers floating in the air. Here's one of your feathers I found laying
Sweet little outro guitar line there. That's Lindsay Price, Glasses of Rain from the soundtrack to the film Cosmic Radio, now available on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, the Roku channel, and more. And you're listening to a special music edition of the Stephen Savage Show, soon to be regular feature to the podcast called the Cosmic Radio Experience. And we'll be featuring lesser-known independent music artists from around the world who we feel deserve a much wider recognition and audience. So someone who doesn't need any kind of introduction to her many fans. Our next guest is a singer-songwriter whom I've been a huge fan of for many years. One who's honored me and a couple of my feature films with placement of not only her voice and lyrics, but also her incredible acoustic guitar playing and composition. She's featured prominently in both Cosmic Radio and Vertical, in which she's credited with both the soundtrack and musical score recognition. And we're going to play a few of her songs today, and we're going to talk about her career and her music in general. So without further ado, my great friend, the fabulous Sharon Bousquet. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Stephen. Hi. Nice to hear from you.
I'm been looking forward to this for a long time, as I'm reacquainting myself with the music of both the films Cosmic Radio and Vertical because of some soundtrack album sort of put together that we've got going. I can't really divulge much of it right now, but it's going to be pretty special, and so you're a major part of both films musically. So it's let's start off with where you're calling in from today.
Yes, I live in northern Delaware. I live in a small artists colony called Arden, and it's just a perfect place to live.
And that sums it up pretty good. Why am I not surprised that you live in an artist colony? That's the real thing.
Yeah, it's a good fit.
Yeah, perfect fit.
I actually grew up a mile from here, and I was the little arts-leaning kid who, when I grow up, I want to live in Arden, where the artists live. And so now I guess I grew up because I live here.
Yeah, well, I guess you did, but you didn't grow too up. I mean, nobody wants to be too grown up, especially as an artist. So,
absolutely.
You've played all over the country, and now you're doing right now you're in the middle of doing a lot of these things called house concerts, which I'm really intrigued by. Can you just explain a little bit about how a house concert works?
Absolutely. It's when someone hires an artist, a singer-songwriter, usually sometimes a band, to come to their home or play in their yard or their church or wherever, and they basically bring the concert to them rather than going to a show and dealing with parking and all of those things. You have the artist come to you, and then you invite your close circle of family and friends and colleagues, and you create this intimate and wonderful concert experience in your home.
That sounds pretty intimate. I like seeing shows like that. I've seen many artists. I mentioned Tori Amos a lot on my show because I'm a fan of hers, and Kate Bush and Sarah McLachlan, and a lot of that those type of like great singer-songwriters. But I saw Tori in a big arena at the Hollywood Bowl, I think, if I remember correctly. But it was like not the same show as when I went back a year later and saw her at the Coach House in San Juan Capistrano, which only holds about maybe 800 people, maybe less, and it just seemed like a different show. Just that intimacy with certain artists. I think it's financially not all that feasible to go out and just play a bunch of smaller shows, but I mean, I guess it can work if you play your cards right. I think that's an interesting concept.
Yeah, and I was surprised at what artists you can get to come and play for your event. If you have the right strings to pull. Right,
yeah. I guess people want to play. It's like actors, you can get a pretty big name actor to be in your movie even if you don't have a huge budget, if you can offer them a role that they've never played before, because this guy's never played a bad guy if I offer it to him, and that works a lot. And I guess it'd be the same for artists if it's just, you've got the bug and you got a bunch of new songs you want to try out, and yeah, it seems like it would work. I have a CD of a show you did in Texas that I think really captures you as a songwriter and live performer. It's awesome. So I know that you've done a lot of bigger shows, but it's interesting that you're out doing these house concerts. I find that pretty fascinating. So
I just have always been drawn to that intimate experience, as nerve-wracking as it sometimes is when the people are sitting 3 feet from you, with rapt attention looking up. It can be a little bit daunting at first, but after the first couple songs, you settle back into your body and it's all good.
Right. Yeah. It's like Hollywood actors who've been doing movies for years, and they decide to go to Broadway, and they say it's the most terrifying experience of their career, because all of a sudden there are people 15 feet away from you, and it can be daunting. So we've been collaborating on movies for a while, and two of the films that we're playing music from today. There's something about your music that fits a sitting at home with drinking coffee, reading, and in the background. Your music is so soothing. It just kind of works for that very well. But your music in the concept of a movie soundtrack is really amazing. I mean, it demands attention. It's not like, you're not like playing in the jukebox in the back ever. Your music seems to become like another character, and I think that's pretty amazing. That's a really good gift. I've found that when I'm watching one of my movies and your music comes on, it's just like it's so much a part of the flow of the story. And congrats on that.
Thank you. Can I quote you? That's a great quote.
You can. So I'm really hoping that with this show that I'm doing now, that a lot of my filmmaker friends who are totally trying to find music for their movies will be able to connect with you, and because I think you have a lot to say, not just as a songwriter, but a lot more to say in your life in the context of film. And so you have more than a few songs featured in Cosmic, but for the sake of time, I've chosen to play 3 that are really prominent and out front, as it were, in the movie. So let's start out with the first of your songs that I handpicked to play a major part in the film. I fell in love with this tune the second I heard it, and when Cosmic Radio came along, I knew it had to be part of the movie. And we'll talk about it a bit after. It's if you can hang around a little bit, that'd be great.
Absolutely. I'm all yours.
So here is a song called Swim This, Sharon Bousquet on the Cosmic Radio Experience.
From a love you can't forget, your heart smoking, an ocean of regret taking your days as you learn how to swim this craziness, to swim this. Words you said, and those unspoken, your heart broken, an ocean of time to think it through as you learn how to swim these blues, to swim this. Where's the love you put on that pedestal you took as the best of all you gave in a fit of falling. To hold you, a new one to ease those blues, good friends to enfold you, till you know you can lose love and still choose love somewhere new and swim. Lord-o-dee-oh, Lord-o-dee-oh, swim this, swim So if your face is wet from a love you can't forget, just swim this.
Swim this. Even after all these years, I still get a bittersweet feeling when I hear that tune. It's been a part of not just the soundtrack to the film Cosmic Radio, but the soundtrack of my actual life. It just seems like it's been with me forever in the best possible way. How did that song come about?
Yeah.
Not putting you on the spot.
No. It's been a long time ago, so
Yeah.
kind of jogging my memory. Swim This was, of course, coming out of a relationship that ended when I wasn't ready for it to end. And then also a friend of mine was going through a breakup shortly after I had, and so I think I started writing Swim This, and then when that friend I was trying to console was in the same place that I was, it was sort of a kick in the pants to finish that song. The neat thing about Swim This, which happens every now and then with songs, I'm really blessed that when a song comes to me, the lyrics come with the melody attached, like 99% of the time. So then my work is to finish that verse chorus that comes to me initially, and also to find the arrangement, the chords that go with that melody. So the same thing with Cosmic, but with Swim This, but it came in like in one piece. It came in basically 20 minutes, just pen to paper, and it was done within half an hour. And so it was a gift. I consider Swim This a gift of a song.
Who was it that said, I think it was, I can't remember. Somebody told me, a pretty well-known musician, that she felt that you can go through different spells, different moods, things that you're writing that you're not really all that crazy about. And then she said that the songwriting fairy shows up at the front door with a six-pack and says, "Let's get to work." And then you're off and running. And I thought that's the perfect analogy for writing in general. It's great. But
yeah.
I want to move on to something I actually proposed to you for the film. I wanted to use the Linda Ronstadt version of the old Lloyd George Little Feat song, Willin'. I've loved that song forever. And when the producers heard that I wanted it in the first place, but we got it for the first festival licensing that we did, first round of festivals. Then when we were ready to sell the film, they found out how much it would end up costing to actually use that version in the theatrical release. And so obviously they said no. But I refused to give up on that. And that's when I instantly thought of you. And I went, if anyone could create a version of that song that would absolutely kick ass, that would kill, it was Sharon Bousquet. And it's only one of two cover tunes in the film. The rest, all your stuff and the other artists are all original stuff. But I didn't want a bunch of cover tunes. And yet in the end, I went, well, it's a radio station. People should be able to recognize a few of the songs. And so I said, well, maybe we'll just have a couple of cover versions just to cover us. No pun intended. So you came up with your version of Willin', and let's play that now and talk about it a bit after. So Here's Sharon Bousquet from the Cosmic Radio soundtrack and Willin'.
Snow, I'm drunk and dirty. Don't you know that I'm still willing? Out on the road late at night, I see my pretty Alice in every headlight. Alice, Dallas, Alice. And I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari, Peter torn apart. I've driven every kind of rig that's ever been made. Driven the back roads I wouldn't get wet. And if you'll give me weed, whites and wine, and you show me a sign, well, I'll be willing. Smokes and folks from Mexico, baked by the sun every time I go to Mexico. That's still, and I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari, to Hatchapeta torn apart. I've driven every kind of rig that's ever been made. Driven the back roads I wouldn't get wet. Weed, whites and wine, and you show me a sign, well, I'll be willing to be moving.
Oh man, it doesn't get any better than that. I love that song, and I love Sharon's version. It's excellent, and it sits in that scene. I was going to say it sits in the scene like it was tailor-made, but really your version kind of was tailor-made for it. So I guess it does.
Was.
Yeah,
it was. What I loved about you asking me to do that song was that I already knew it. I already played that song,
right?
So it was great.
Yeah, guys, it was just kismet, I guess. But I couldn't think of anyone else doing that song, and I had no idea what you would. I didn't know if you'd do a really alt version. Your version is different vocal style is much different than the Linda Ronstadt version. But the musicians who played on it and the way you approached it stayed true enough to the Lowell George Littlefeet version that it made me very happy. And who were the musicians who played on that? And how did that recording process go after I kind of got on my knees and begged you to do it?
Well, you didn't have to beg very hard because that's a song I love.
Right.
I love Little Feet, and that was a pleasure. Honestly, as much recording as I've done in my life, and being in the studio is probably my very favorite musically related thing that I do.
Really?
I just love that experience of taking a seed and then growing it with co-creating with my friends and fellow musicians. I just love that experience.
Mm-hmm.
I took my band at the time, All Souls on Deck, and I took half of that band and half of a band called the Green Band, the Jefferson County Green Band, which was more of a kind of a country folk rock band with a wonderful harmonica player, and then we had another friend who came in and did the guitar part, the lead guitar part in there. That's so classic for that tune. Scotty came in and did that one, and I just blended the two bands together, and we met at the studio of my friend who I've done a lot of recording with, and we just had a great time. It was like one of the highlights of my recording career. I loved doing that song, and we did it in like 3 days, and then Tim, the engineer, Tim Britton, it just engineered it very quickly and beautifully. I really love the way that track turned out.
I am so happy to hear you say that you actually not only enjoyed the process, but it was one of your favorite recording experiences, because to me, it's you have a way of sounding so just off the cuff. Your music just seems to, it's like someone walks up off the street, grabs a guitar and starts playing, and it's like so effortless for you to do these amazing things that I sit there with my jaw agape and just go, how does she do that? And this, when I played it for the producers, I was just, I don't care what, this is going to be in the film. And so they went out and got the actual license to record it, not to do obviously the Ronstadt version, but your version, but they still had to pull in a little bit to get it licensed. But they knew I wasn't going to pick another song. After hearing your version, I could not see the movie going forward in the edit without that song in it. So if you ever do talk to anyone who performed on that track, please let them know how amazing it is. Or just send them this podcast.
I will do that too.
Everyone on that track is phenomenal, especially you. You just slay on that song. I hate to keep on beating a dead horse here, but the emotion is absolutely spot on. So thanks for doing this for me.
My pleasure.
So before we play the last song and send you off to finish your busy day, let my listeners know where they can find your music and any info for upcoming shows and etc. I know you're on the internet. Where can they find you?
Yeah, I am on the internet. I'm catching up from a long stretch of not doing many shows,
Sure.
but you can find me on. You put my name in on Facebook, you'll find me. If you put me in on Instagram, all those usual suspects, You'll find me. And then SharonBousquet.com. And my name is spelled like a bouquet with an S in the middle.
Yeah.
Bousquet.
Bousquet.
You got it.
I got it. That's good. All right. So one more tune from the soundtrack of Cosmic Radio, and as recently as I don't know. I how do you explain how much as a director music means to you? But every time I've shown this film and screened it at festivals or special screenings or whatever, the music comes up. And Vertical the same way. Like we just played Vertical at the Scotland International Festival of Cinema, and one of the things that people were asking about was, one of the big things they always ask about is the music and how organic it sounds. And that's a lot of your acoustic playing as well. And in Vertical, the song we're going to play now, we don't actually hear your vocal. We just took your amazingly beautiful guitar work, removed the vocals from it, and just used that as a bed for some of the most amazing scenes. It just plays, but it's not like, it's just background. It's a jukebox kind of thing. It almost like your music in Vertical became another character. It was pretty phenomenal, and I really do appreciate it. So.
Wow. I'll have to pull it back up again and watch it again.
Yeah,
it's been a while, so
it's well worth it. So here it is, Sharon Bousquet, "Where Are You Now" is the song on the Cosmic Radio Experience. And thank you so much for coming on today, Sharon.
it is my pleasure, Stephen. I love you. It's always good to hear from you.
I love you as well, and I'll talk to you very soon.
Okay.
Stars, a slip of cloud, the world at large is silent now. Standing sleep, my dew, I can't rest my mind from you. Sweet little love. 3 a.m. What a sight. Rippling trees in a moon-soaked night. An owl is calling me to dream. I'm stalling, lost but free. Where are you now, my sweet little love? At the waking hour, whisper of goodbye. We couldn't know the power of what was lost to you and I, lost to you and I. Moon and stars, they help me see that where you are is not with me. Standing shadow cast, my heart is safe at last. But where are you now, my sweet little love? Where are you now, my sweet little love? My lover.
You're tuned to California's only true music station, 95.3 KZMC Cosmic Radio.
Thank you, Casey Nighthorse, a.k.a. Irene Bedard, and thank you all for coming on this journey with me today, playing songs from two of my feature films, Cosmic Radio and Vertical. There's a song in Cosmic Radio by one of our very well-known musical artists, my friend Taboo of Black Eyed Peas, and Tab not only added the song to the soundtrack, he also played the role of Marcus, the assistant station manager at KZMC Cosmic Radio. It's called Break It Down. But because of licensing agreements with Taboo's management and publisher, I won't play it here today, but it will be on the soundtrack album when it's released at the end of this year. But I will drop the needle on another of Rachel Robinson's song that, along with her opening theme song, plays a key role in the film. So here once again is Rachel Robinson with a song called The Other Side of Sky from the Cosmic Radio soundtrack.
hanging around like sailors never touch the ground. And I could float right past the screaming city while you settle down. But who would I be if I'd never seen the other side of sky? $5 down, like a junkie's hollow vow. And do you like to lose? I'm so confused, I'm giving up for now. But would you be free if you'd never seen the other side of sky? The other side of sky high. Lost in a crowd, like the volume way too loud. And if I can't hear you when I'm near you, why am I so proud? But would you hear me if you'd never seen the other side of sky? It seems so wide. She's still a child, and he's still a masterpiece. 35 with the prettiest eyes, but we're alive. So why do we turn our eyes away into the other side? Hanging around like at the cosmic lost and found. I swear it's good as new, just break on through. There's only light and sound. But would you find me if I said I'd be on the other side of sky?
Rachel Robinson with The Other Side of Sky. I love that tune. Okay, we're going to transition for a bit now to include music from my film Vertical into the mix, which, as I said earlier, just completed a year-long run on the Roku channel, Tubi, and a few other streaming platforms, and it'll be moving on to Amazon Prime very shortly. And I'm going to bring on the young woman who is responsible for the bulk of the soundtrack of that film. She's someone I was lucky enough to discover on CD Baby, I think, or was it iTunes? I don't remember, but I was looking for an artist whose music captured the feel of the movie, and I couldn't have gotten more lucky. She's since become a very close friend and someone whom I'm hoping to help produce an album for and with sometime soon. So, calling in from Phoenix, Arizona, the amazing Courtney Jones. Courtney, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. It's a little warm, but we're good.
It's Arizona. You knew the job was dangerous when you took it.
Yeah, it kind of comes with the territory.
It's funny. You know, you provided so much, I think 6 or 7 songs to the Vertical soundtrack, a few of which we're going to be playing here today. But you also provided a great track to the Cosmic Radio soundtrack, which, believe it or not, we haven't found the original recording of yet. We've been looking, and we do have the shortened version as it appears in the film, edited for that scene. But we will find the original before we put this album out, this soundtrack album, I promise. But this is the one song of yours that is included on the Cosmic Radio soundtrack as it appears in the film. This is a scene where the 13-year-old Dakota Stone falls from a huge pine tree and almost dies. It's a montage scene, and it starts with a helicopter medevacing her out of the forest, and then shows her unconscious in the hospital, her dad sitting by her bed. It's a very stressful scene. But if you don't mind, we're going to play the song, This Room, and then after it's done, we'll come back and talk about it. Is that
let's
good?
take a listen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's This Room from Courtney Jones.
You were trying, I was burdened by something unclear. It's too late too soon. Please let's leave this room. There's a distance I know that I deserve. Please keep breathing and let me be the one who hurts. 'Cause now you're broken and I'm falling, and I don't know which is worse.
Beautiful song. I remember for the recording of that song, I sent you to a studio I'd hired in Hawaii, where you were living at the time, and you went in and recorded it, and it was perfect for the scene. I simply sent you a clip of the montage and said, write something fitting for this, and you nailed it. It was amazing. Do you remember?
thank you.
How was that experience? How was the studio?
That's one of my favorite. I still tell people about that whole, because I think start to finish that was like a 5-day thing.
Mhm.
Like Monday you got a hold of me, you're like, hey, I need this song for this scene, something like this.
I'm so
I was like,
demanding.
okay. And like the next day I'm like, here's a basic recording, and you're like, yep. And I was like, okay, I will fine tune this.
Yeah.
And you found the studio in Manoa. It's like a part of Honolulu over there on Oahu.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did. I found it online.
And it was this French guy. He was amazing. Pierre Grill. Pierre Grill. I think it's Rendezvous Recording is a studio.
Yeah, he was a great
Beautiful.
guy. He was so cooperative, and he wasn't super expensive. When I told him it was for a movie, he said, "Yeah, we'll come up with a deal. Don't worry about it, but get her in here and we'll record." And so the studio was amazing. He was amazing. Did it seem a little bit fantastic that you were doing it so quickly?
Yes, but like somehow he had like a baby grand up on a platform. I went up on like this loft ladder, if I'm remembering correctly. It was a little while ago now, but like I remember recording the piano up there, so you could see the whole studio from there.
Right.
And then we didn't do drums at the time, but it was just there's like drums in a separate room, and he was kind of like in the middle of everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really cool studio.
Did he lay down the? I don't know if he didn't lay down the string parts. I think that was Tom Corcoran, our sound designer, who actually did the orchestration. Which is why I'm thinking Tom might be the guy who has the original version, because he's a great composer, and he's not going to let something like that go. So I'm pretty sure, as we hunt down the longer version, if the studio in Hawaii doesn't have it, Tom, I'm going to make him dig through every hard drive he has to look for it. You stay alive song. We will find you.
Like a scavenger hunt down memory lane. Like, we need to keep this song alive.
Right.
It's here somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. But, okay, let's move on to a few of the other songs from the Vertical soundtrack, and we can talk about each one after they play. Shall we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
I want to start with the opening theme song for the film, Long Way Down.
Yeah.
It's written and performed by you, and it was a song that was on your album Awake and Dreaming, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And I listened to that album, and that song instantly just stuck out. So let's just play it, and then we'll come back and talk about the song.
All right.
So here it is, Long Way Down, written and performed by Courtney Jones on the Stephen Savage Show, the Cosmic Radio Experience.
Secrets from you, hoping you would do like I do. No wonder if I'll ever know you well. Maybe you're heaven in itself. I've had no reason to fight. No dreams to keep me from my sleep at night. And I want to call you all my own, but it is then that I am most alone. So help me up, it's been a long way down. I need to set my feet onto more solid. To hide, always just a bit unsatisfied, and I have had no water to tread. Sounded so much different in my head. So help me up, it's been a long way down. I need to set my feet onto more solid ground. Oh, I am surprised that I am missing you at all, 'cause I've never been the one to fall, been the one to. You've done the impossible. You've done the impossible. So help me up, it's been a long way down. I need to set my feet onto more solid ground. Oh, I am surprised that I am missing you at all, 'cause I've never been the one to fall. Oh, help me up, it's been a long way down. I need to set my feet onto more solid ground. Oh, I am helpless, waiting for you to call, 'cause I've never been the one to fall. So you have done the impossible. You
Courtney Jones, Long Way Down. That song was perfect for the opening credit scene, which depicts actress Chudy 2 from the shows Yellowstone and Nashville, who played Drew Hunter in the movie. She's climbing a steep rock high above national forest, which really was a long way down.
Yeah, I write very metaphor-based songs, and I was amazed at how well they just kind of like locked into scenes in this movie. I'm like, oh, that's not the original intention, but I mean, I can't believe it wasn't now.
It just fit perfect. A rock climber who's in that song, Long Way Down, is playing. And it was originally written for your album, Awake and Dreaming, as we said. Tell us a bit about the song and the album, if you would.
So I don't know, I like I said, I like metaphor-based songs. I like very visual songs. It's my goal to write something that like is a way of expressing something in a new way, but that people understand exactly what what we're experiencing or what we're talking about, and so that's why it's like long way help me up. It's been a long way down. I like the up and down. I like the contrast. Like, I know there's a lot of wordplay in there that probably is just me being geeky, and I'll be the only one that notices, but
but it's very your lyrics are very metaphoric. They're not, you don't really tell story songs. It's more like it's open to interpretation, and anyone who listens to your music is going to get something different out of it, but somehow it fits into everybody's experience at the moment, which is a pretty unique gift.
That is the absolute goal, and I think maybe that's just like me, kind of finding my way through expressing myself. Where it's like, all right, I'm going to find these things that are relatable, and I'm going to find these comparisons that like that are easier to illustrate, kind of, and involves more of the experience than I can just like express, straight out.
Sure, yeah. I think your writing has it's very much not quite as brutal as Tori Amos, and not quite as I want to say, not wimpy, but not quite as emotionally sentimental as like a Sarah McLachlan. There's something more about your music that has an underlining sense of vision that we're in your head while you're looking at the world. It's pretty impressive. I really like it.
I appreciate that, because I don't have a lot of natural angst, but like I'm more like I ponder and I try to figure things out, and it's not writing on like the most extreme emotions all the time. It's mostly like trying to process things.
Yeah, and that comes off. I don't know. It's just okay. Let's get another tune in from the Vertical soundtrack. This is a song that I knew had to be in the movie the minute I heard it again. It's called Passenger, and it's one of those songs that was, you wrote it never knowing it was going to be in this movie, and yet it fits perfectly into the scenes we placed it in. So this is Passenger, Courtney Jones on the Cosmic Radio Experience.
I stare at the sunset through the power lines, and I learned to read by looking at billboards and highway signs. Roll down the window to get a better view, and I pretend I'm driving, 'cause that's all I can do. I am a passenger again, and the taillights are my only friends, and I'm taking in the sights and sounds of all these foreign lands. I am I picture me behind the wheel, where I am in control. In this world I do have the safer seat in the vehicle. We move on over as we look to pass. If I'm going nowhere, at least I'll get there fast. I am a passenger again, and the taillights are my only friends. And I'm taking in the sights and sounds of all these foreign lands. I am a passenger, it's true, but the traffic knows just what to do. So I'll put my faith in its hands. I'm riding on the right side, and I see one thing is clear, that I'm just a passenger here. I settle into my seat as we drive on, and I watch the way the freeway says my freedom's gone. Oh, we drive on, and we drive. I am a passenger again, and the taillights are my only friends. And I'm taking in the sights and sounds of all these foreign lands. I am a passenger, it's true, but the traffic knows just what to do. So I'll put my faith in its hands. I'm riding on the right side, and I see one thing is clear, that I'm just a passenger here. Passenger here. Passenger here. Oh, I'm just a passenger here.
Awesome. I love these tunes so much, and your voice provides such a spiritual siren that underlines, as we said, the feel and emotion of the movie without being overwrought. It's not hitting you over the head with emotion. Well,
thank
I
you.
want to ask you what it was like the first time you saw the film and heard your songs throughout. Was that something that seemed surreal, or?
It was incredibly distracting, actually.
Is that right?
Because I was like, I'm going to see Savage's movie. I'm so excited. You know, I've been hearing a lot about it. And then as soon as like the first of my songs starts playing, that's like all I can hear and all I can see. And I was like, oh.
But you're
these songs I played hundreds of times in concert. I've listened to hundreds of times through the studio, and all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know what just happened for the last minute in the film because all I could hear was the song.
That's funny. It must have been distracting through the whole movie because you've got so many songs in the movie, and Long Way Down.
I got used to it, but like the initial was like, oh.
Long Way Down actually starts right at the beginning. I mean, it's right. There's no preamble. It's just right into the song. It's right into the movie. But yeah, I was so grateful that I found you, and really grateful that you and I hit it off so well, and we were able to collaborate not just on new songs that you were writing specifically for a film, but also that the music that you already had available on the album Awake and Dreaming fits so well. So I really feel grateful, and I can never thank you enough for what you added to that movie. And we did a special screening of it at the Scotland International Film Festival this past April, and every time I stream that movie, or every time I screen that movie, and I do Q&A with the audience, the music always is one of the first questions. Who's Courtney Jones? Where did you find her? Where can we find her? It's like I end up talking about you a lot. So I don't know if your ears were burning from Scotland last April.
No, that is just like incredibly cool to think that I created something at my piano in my bedroom years ago that's still like people are discovering for the first time, and they're relating to it and they're enjoying it all over the world, which is crazy to me.
Well, it's get used to it because you've got more to come. And so before you go, Courtney, let's before we play the closing theme from Vertical, and this song reminds me of all the crying and sniveling I hear from the audience when we screen it, because it gets quiet just before the song starts at the closing credits, and it really is a sad movie, but it does leave people with a sense of hope, and this song sums up nicely, I think. But before we let you go, let's find out where we can, tell us about where your music can be found now and where people can buy the album Awake and Dreaming and all the other albums online. And when you do record a new album, where they're going to be able to get that one as well.
Well, it should be up on all major platforms. It's on Spotify and Pandora. It's on Apple Music. I have a couple albums up there and like a single, I think. And so... yeah, I mean it's pretty available if you know what you're typing in the search bar.
Yeah, well that's good. That's what it should be. That's the way it should be. So
yeah.
And I think after we're gonna have to have some more talks, because before the soundtrack album comes out for Vertical, which is my next move after the Cosmic Radio soundtrack comes out, but before Vertical and definitely before Cosmic Radio, we'll have to deal with the paperwork and licensing and who gets paid and all that stuff. So we'll
we'll get to that.
Yeah, but here it is. The song is Make Believe from the album Awake and Dreaming and from the soundtrack to the movie Vertical. Courtney Jones. Thanks, Courtney.
Yep.
Disappearing as the moon gets the sky, and I keep searching daydreams for some kind of sign. Well, I see the light on the water, and I see the truth in the storm. I see the rain on the window, and it's calling me home. One more way set before me, another lesson to learn. And I've got a place that can hold me, but nowhere to turn. Well, I see the light on the water, and I see the truth in the storm. I see the rain on the window, and it's calling me home. Well, I make believe that you wait for me, that you will come when I call, and that maybe you're all that gets me back on my feet. So I make believe, I make believe. Nowhere to be and the whole world to see. Have I lost my way? But I'm holding it down and I won't turn around. You're there. But I see the light on the water, and I see the truth in the storm. I see the rain on the window, and it's calling me home. Well, I make believe that you wait for me, that you will come when I call, and So I make believe, I make believe.
Make Believe by Courtney Jones. Amazing songwriting and vocals. And anyway, once again, you're listening to a special edition of the Stephen Savage Show, the Cosmic Radio Experience. And on this show in the future, we'll be showcasing lesser known but not lesser accomplished musical artists from around the world. And as we end the show, I want to thank my guest today, actor and producer Johnathon Sachar, and singer-songwriters Sharon Bousquet and Courtney Jones for coming on the podcast today, as well as all the other artists who've contributed so much to my cinematic vision with their musical spirits and genius. And please be on the lookout for more of these Cosmic Radio Experience episodes where we'll be looking for artists worldwide to showcase on the show. And look also for our Fatal Gothic episodes, the true crime history editions of the Stephen Savage Show, as well as our normal interview episodes with movers and shakers from the worlds of film, music, literature, and more on the Stephen Savage Show, the Savage Podcasting Network. And I've saved this for last just for a couple reasons, but I'm going to leave you with the main theme from Cosmic Radio, the song that drives the plot very much. It appears often in the film, and it happens to be a song that my brother Tucker and I, who happen to be musicians ourselves, came up with a cover version of a great song that I'm very proud of and that worked very well within the film. And so we went into the studio and we did a version of it. So here is myself on guitar and my brother Tucker on vocals with our band Zen Horses, doing a version of an old Stevie Winwood traffic tune called Can't Find My Way Home. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you can catch the film Cosmic Radio that the song comes from, as well as Vertical, as they're now playing on streaming services worldwide. So thanks for listening in, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I had a great time, and so we'll be doing it again. I'm Stephen Savage. This is the Stephen Savage Show on the Savage Podcasting Network, and we will see you next time.
Come down off your throne and leave your body alone. Somebody must change. You are the reason I have waited here so long. Somebody